The Broken Vows and the Hidden Prince. In a bustling city known for its vibrant culture and towering skyscrapers, there lived a young woman named Amina. She was kind, intelligent, and beautiful, with a smile that could light up the darkest room. Amina had worked hard to build a life she was proud of, and she had everything she ever wanted, except for one thing: true love. Amina believed she had found that love in her fiancé, Kola. He was charming, successful, and seemed to adore her. They had been together for 3 years and were planning a grand wedding that was just a few months away. Amina's best friend, Zainab, was by her side through it all, helping with the preparations and sharing in her joy. Or so it seemed. Unbeknownst to Amina, a dark storm was brewing beneath the surface of her perfect life. Zainab, who had been Amina's closest friend since childhood, harbored deep jealousy. Zainab had always envied Amina's success, her beauty, and most of all, her relationship with Kola. This envy festered into a bitterness that led her to an unspeakable betrayal. Kola, who was not as faithful as he appeared, had been secretly seeing Zainab behind Amina's back. What began as a flirtation turned into a full-blown affair, fueled by Zainab's desire to have what Amina had, and Kola's weakness for temptation. Together, they concocted a plan to end Amina and Kola's engagement and start a new life together. On the night before Amina's birthday, Kola coldly broke off the engagement. He told Amina that he no longer loved her, that she wasn't enough for him. Shocked and heartbroken, Amina pleaded with him, but he left her standing alone in the middle of the street, with rain pouring down, her tears blending with the drops from the sky. As if the betrayal wasn't enough, Amina soon discovered the truth about Zainab. A week after the breakup, Amina saw Kola and Zainab together, laughing and holding hands as if they hadn't just shattered her world. It was then that she realized the extent of their deceit. The people she loved most had betrayed her in the cruelest way possible. Devastated, Amina withdrew from the world. She stopped going to work, avoided her friends, and spent her days in her apartment, drowning in sorrow. Her heart was broken, and she felt like she would never trust or love again. But after weeks of isolation, she knew she had to find a way to move on, even if it seemed impossible. Amina decided to seek help from a therapist, hoping that talking to someone might help her heal. She was referred to Dr. Tond, a renowned therapist known for his compassionate and holistic approach to healing. Though hesitant at first, Amina made an appointment, not knowing that this decision would change her life in ways she could never have imagined. Dr. Tond was different from anyone Amina had ever met. He was calm, wise, and had a presence that made her feel safe and understood. As they worked together over the following weeks, Amina began to open up about her pain, her fears, and her shattered trust. Dr. Tond listened without judgment, guiding her through her emotions and helping her to find strength she didn't know she had. But there was something else about Dr. Tond that intrigued Amina. Despite his modest lifestyle and humble demeanor, there was an air of mystery around him. He was kind and down to earth, yet there was a depth to his character that hinted at a story untold. As Amina continued her therapy, she began to feel a connection with Dr. Tond that went beyond the usual patient-therapist relationship. She found herself looking forward to their sessions, not just for the healing, but for the comfort of his presence. Slowly, Amina's heart began to mend, and she started to believe in the possibility of love again. One day, after a particularly deep and emotional session, Dr. Tond revealed something that took Amina by surprise. He confided that he was not just a therapist but also the heir to a powerful and wealthy kingdom far away, in a village known for its riches and prosperity. His full name was Prince Oluwetan Adewale, the first son of the king. Stunned, Amina listened as Tond explained that he had chosen to pursue a life of service, helping people through their struggles, rather than immediately ascending to the throne. He wanted to understand the world, to connect with people on a deeper level, and to use his position to make a real difference. Only a few people knew his true identity, as he preferred to live a life of humility and purpose. Amina was overwhelmed by this revelation, but it also made sense. She had always felt there was something extraordinary about Tond, and now she knew why. But what touched her most was his dedication to helping others, despite his royal status. It was a far cry from the selfishness she had experienced with Kola and Zainab. As time went on, the bond between Amina and Tond deepened. What began as a professional relationship slowly blossomed into something more. Amina found herself falling in love again, but this time with someone who valued her for who she was, someone who truly cared. Tond, too, found himself drawn to Amina's strength and resilience, admiring her courage to heal after such a deep betrayal. Eventually, Tond confessed his feelings to Amina, and to his delight, she felt the same. They began a relationship built on trust, respect, and mutual admiration. Unlike her previous engagements, this love was pure and genuine, free from deceit and manipulation. Amina and Tond's love story became a legend in both the city and Tond's village. When it was finally time for Tond to ascend the throne, Amina stood by his side as his queen, beloved by the people for her kindness and grace. Together, they ruled the kingdom with wisdom and compassion, their love a shining example of hope and redemption. And as for Kola and Zainab, they faded into the shadows, their betrayal a distant memory, overshadowed by the love that Amina and Tond shared, a love that had been born from pain but had grown into something beautiful and everlasting.